Greg Smith.
Thank you, Madam Deputy Speaker. I want to start with the many positives in this bill that I think will make a significant difference going forward. I particularly welcome the ending of the zoning proposals that we saw in the original planning reforms that were put forward in 2020 to support the presumption for brownfield development, to support the improved enforcement on planning controls, to support attempts to tackle land banking. And I also want to congratulate the government for making a centrepiece of this legislation democratic engagement and involving local communities. But it is also my argument today that I'll certainly be pursuing with other honourable and right honourable members who have spoken in this debate already as the bill goes to committee and to report stage, to see if we can actually strengthen that community involvement, strengthen that democratic underpinning of our planning system yet further. And inherent in that, across my constituency, we have seen swathes of development over many years. And inherent to that is the burden that places on parish and town councils who do this job for the love of their communities and their neighbourhoods without remuneration. And I think the government needs to acknowledge the strain that mega development, huge planning proposals coming through, places on those councils. So in the couple of minutes I've got, I just want to outline a couple of the areas of concern that I think needs to be acknowledged and polished in this bill as it goes forward. The first is understanding the geography of an area. In Buckinghamshire, much of the south of the county is under AONB. Therefore, when targets are put on the whole county, there is only one place the build-out can actually happen, and that happens to be largely across my constituency and that of my constituency neighbour, my honourable friend, the member for Aylesbury. That needs to be tackled going through the bill, although I have to equally say that I support those colleagues who have spoken to say that targets should be advisory and not mandatory. If we are to have true local control, true democratic consent to development, it must be a local community deciding what is right for it. A second area that I think we need to put much more focus on is the loss of agricultural land. The Environment Act put a duty on the government to consider environmental concerns in every part of policy making. I think we should have a similar provision when it comes to the protection of agricultural land for food security. Too much agricultural land in my constituency is being lost, not just to houses, not just to the great destroyer that is HS2, which of course I propose, but to solar farms and so much more. That is going to have an impact on our food security. I also ask my right honourable friend, the Minister, to give us greater clarity on where the government currently stands on the Oxford to Cambridge arc. We have seen in the press, we have seen great words written about the Secretary of State's flushing gesticulation when asked about the Oxford to Cambridge arc, but it would be good to have certainty that the once held ambition for 1 million homes across the arc, many that would land in my constituency, have indeed been dropped. I share the concerns of my right honourable friend, the member for Chipping Barnet, on clauses 83 and 84. Those need to go, and I think we need to fundamentally challenge the way that developers are allowed to fund the very reports that inspectors and planning officers work on going forwards.